All right, welcome to the call. We are so excited. We have our Mindset Matters training, and there was no better way to be able to kick it off than have a celebrity trainer and friend and just amazing, genuine person kick off our August training. And that is Judy. No, I'm just kidding. It's Joel. So the trainer from Quarter Force, Les Mills Pump. And if you've ever followed him, you know he loves him some minions. So we're so excited to have you on the call, Joel. Thanks for taking the time to do it.
Absolutely. Happy to be here.
And how was your flight like after summits? I know you have to be like working on like 3 hours of sleep or something crazy.
Yeah, it was, I'm a little haggard, so you can hear it in my voice. I had my voice and I was doing really, really good until it was like probably middle of Saturday. And it just finally was like, okay, I'm tired. And then we were able to go on stage and do our presentation, do our little thing with Jericho and I up on stage for the celebration. And then after that, my voice was like later. So the best it sounded since then. Got home yesterday and then was planning on like catching up on laundry and everything today. And then last minute needed to drive out to Palm Springs. So I actually just got to Palm Springs. And just so you know, if you look behind me, for all of you wondering, this is not my own personal taste. I'm at my grandma's house. So this is like, and it looks as if you scroll like, come on, this is grandma's house. Man. It's like Springs. Seriously. So I just got here. I'm like, she doesn't have Wi-Fi, so I'm tethering off. Hopefully everything, technology holds up, even though it just popped up and said technology is unstable. So we'll hope for the best. If I get kicked off for any reason, I promise I'll pop back on. So there's the update on that one. And then I'll be here for 2 days and then drive home and then get ready and then leave on Friday morning for Toronto for Super Saturday there. And then I will be home next week sometime in the near future. So that'll be nice. But it's all good. It's, the excitement is going to keep me going, I think, through the end of the year, without a doubt. The fact that you were able to say Quarter Force, I didn't have to like, oh my God, she said Quarter Force. Like, we can talk about it. After 18 months, we can finally talk about it. It's awesome. So it's super exciting.
Yay. So exciting. Yeah, I was wondering, it looks like you got like cheetah print curtains or something. And so I was like, I wonder if he picked those out.
Oh, that's some really weird taste. No, it's not cheetah print. It's old lady flowers.
Don't let grandma hear you.
Hey, I love my grandma. That's why I came out here we're moving her closer.
The old lady part.
Well, like old. It's all good. If you saw some of the pictures around here, like I got here, I was looking around like, oh my God, because grandmas, they keep like all of your pictures from when you were younger, and these are the ones that I've tried to hide from the world. And she has all of them here. So like, of course, like I'm in the den right now, so it's like all fridge pictures, and they're scary. I'm not showing you guys those. Absolutely. You'll think less than me, you already do. So no.
Yeah. So you said you had like 30 minutes that you wanted to talk. Like you have something you want to tell us, right?
Well, I mean, I got lots of things I could tell you. It's more like, what do you guys want to hear? So obviously, when we set this call up, you guys did not know about Quarter Force. I did, and I knew that we were going to be, all these calls I have scheduled in the next few months. I knew that was obviously going to be a big part of the questions that were coming back for that. So that's all great, and that's what's awesome because we can actually talk about it now. I don't necessarily want to spend the whole time on Quarter Force because I want to have there's still some cool things to be revealed in terms of like sneak peeks and things like that. More than happy to answer some of your questions. I think, hold on, let me go back to the email. I know you guys had sent me some questions. And some of these I definitely think we can talk about. The spiel that I had though was talking on the business side in terms of what you guys are all doing on a daily basis as coaches. And this comes from my experience working in the fitness industry on the business side at Gold's Gym and all these different gyms for over almost a decade now, up until I left to come with Beachbody exclusively. So what I really worked hard on was to develop training and learning myself on how to develop how to sell the value of something and how to create the value of something. And creating the value in fitness is you guys all probably know, it can be challenging with people who don't truly understand the benefits that come with it, and also products. So now, you guys are trying to sell products. So what I did is I took everything that I used to do. I trained new employees and on all this stuff. And so I took everything and I summarized it for Beachbody coaches and made it a very, very simple 30 minutes tops. There's a little spiel, and I'm a visual person, so I made a little visual thing that you guys can draw, and hopefully it helps. So that was kind of my plan, as to tell you this to you guys, and you tell me if you want to hear it or if you just want to talk about quarter force. It's up to you. We can talk about both. I got nothing but time.
I want to hear both.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
You can never give us both if that's not an actual option. I'll always take it.
Yeah, I can do that. So I tell you what, let me go through. Let me tell you my little spiel, my little 30-minute spiel, and it's probably not even 30 minutes. But let's go through this, and then I think you guys will see how, when we talk about quarter force and some of the other questions that you guys had, I was reading through your questions today, and a lot of these questions might be answered, or at least I can refer back to this. So if that's cool with you, you want me just to go through it?
Yeah, that'd be perfect. That's great.
So, and this is the great thing that I love about video chats is I can see all of you. So if you're falling asleep, or if you're really bored, or you just walk away, then I can see that. But I can also see you nod your heads in agreement and things like that. That's why I love doing these video chats. So I am going to go kind of fast on this, but I have the chat box open too. So if there's questions that pop up during this, throw the questions in there, and I'm more than happy to answer them. So, okay, so this is what this whole thing is about. The basic synopsis of this is how to create value in fitness. With the new products like Quarter Force coming out, you have products like Shakeology that have been around. We all know what the amazing, all these benefits that these products have. Yet a lot of times you're stuck trying to convince somebody, or you feel like you're trying to convince somebody, hey, you really should buy Shakeology. Or, hey, you really should do this product. It's awesome. When the world right now, in the market right now, is so just filled with cheap products, and without truly understanding the products. And I say, like, Costco brand protein powder for $15. That is getting compared to a bag of Shakeology. And is that accurate? No, it's not. So the challenge that you guys are having as coaches, and look, I'm not a coach by any means, and I know probably about this much about coaching right now when it comes to like all this stuff you guys have to do in terms of like, success club points and all this stuff. Like, when we listen to this person's a 15-star diamond and 180 million success club points, and we're like, cool, we have no idea what that means. But it always comes back to the value of fitness. And how to create the value of fitness. And if you create value with something, then you actually don't have to sell it. It will sell itself, because somebody will find the value of how it pertains to them, to where then they go, wow, you know what? I want that product. And then they're going to ask you for it versus you trying to sell it to them. Does that make sense? So what this is, and so what I developed is called the fitness funnel. And think of funnel, and what the whole point of a funnel is you throw a bunch of stuff at the top, and it's going to come all the way down, and it's going to pop out the bottom. And what you want to pop out the bottom is value. And so this is why I call it the fitness funnel, because this way, again, in terms of visual aid, it's easier to do. And plus, I'm not that smart, so I need something that's very simple. So the first thing that you throw into the funnel at the very, very top is information. That's your first word that you put at the top of the funnel. Now, information is everywhere. You go onto, we talk about social media, we talk about all these Beachbody blogs, we talk about everything that's in the world of the internet right now, TV and everything. There's a lot of information out there, but it's very, very garbled. So when it comes to information, we need to think about a couple things here. So one, we need to think about, okay, as you as Beachbody coaches, who am I trying to get information to? Well, obviously, you're trying to get information to non-coaches, right? Nod your heads. You can tell me if I'm wrong. I'm just assuming. So if you're trying to get information to non-coaches, and your social media feeds are filled with people saying, hey, I just drank my Shakeology today, or hey, I just did my workout today, chances are your 5,000 friends on Instagram and Facebook are all coaches, right? So you got to get out from underneath your little, or I call it the bubble, the beach body bubble. Like in Nashville this week, that was a bubble. It was a big freaking bubble, but it was still a bubble. Like where, we weren't allowed to walk downstairs because everybody wants to talk to us. Okay, I was at the grocery store yesterday in LA and no one gave a shit who I was. So that is a bubble. So we're trying to get out of this bubble, and that is what you have to do. Sorry, I said shit. Any kids on? Okay, no kids? Okay, good. So once you get out of this bubble, and we'll talk a little bit more about ways to do that if you guys want. I'm more than happy to give you some tips on that one. But we have to go after the non-coaches. I think we've surpassed 500,000 coaches. So I think there's someone said close to 700,000 coaches now. Awesome. Even if it's 500,000 for sake of math, you still have 320 something million people in the United States that are not coaches. That's a big group of people and big target demographic that you need to be going after. So that is your target audience, not the people that are on your feed right now, because they're not going to be buying anything from you. They're not going to be following your affiliate links because they have their own affiliate links. Make sense? So once you figure out who your target audience is, it could be moms, it could be dads, it could be single moms, it could be fit moms, it could be people overweight, whatever you want to do. If you have a specific group you want to go after, then this is how you're going to start tailoring your information. And the reason I was saying that is because in terms of just throwing information out there, and it's basically like throwing up a bunch of spaghetti against the wall, and one might stick, but we're going to try to tailor it down a little bit more into the demographic. So if I'm going after, say, for instance, people who are specifically, let's say, women who are specifically overweight, and then I'm going to tailor my information. I'm going to take all the information that I know that we have at our disposal, like Beachbody blogs, all the stuff that's out there, and I'm going to do things that specifically pertain to them. So, when it comes to diet, when it comes to nutrition, when it comes to vanity, even about how to look better in a bikini. Like, obviously, if I'm going after guys, I'm not going to put that piece of information out there about how to look better in a bikini. That will get me the wrong type of guys that I want to talk to. So tailoring my information is very, very important. Once you figure out your audience and you figure out the information you want to do, is now you flood them. You flood the market, your market, we're going to call them your market now, is you flood that market with information. And we'll use Gold's Gym as an example on this. They're one of the best at doing this. So they opened in 1965, and their tagline, what they've become known for, is the authority on health and fitness. And because of what they've done, they are now the most recognized fitness brand in the entire world. They're not the biggest gym. They don't have the most amount of members. They don't have the most amount of gyms in the world, but they're the most recognized brand. So anywhere you go in the world, chances are, if you say you heard of Gold's Gym or you show them the logo, they'll know what that means. The reason they can do this is because they've put so much information out for free. If you go to their website, they have what's called the Strength Exchange on their website. You can get 7-day meal plans. You can get fitness guides and advice. You can get workout plans. Everything that you need to get in better shape is on their website for free. Now, why would they do that? Because they know that eventually, if they keep throwing out information, that somebody will, when it's the right time in that person's life, be ready to take the next step. And that's what you are waiting for right there. That's what Gold's Gym does. That's what I did for Gold's Gym for 4 years when we worked there. Is we were waiting for people to be ready to take the next step, because if you throw something out to the person right now, that may not be the right time. That's why advertising continues to always come out with new things, because you might hear the same thing, you hear it 3 different ways, and finally on the third way, you're like, oh, that hits home, or now I'm ready to make that purchase, or whatever that is. So you want to flood the information out there. You want to flood your market with the information. And when you do this, you have to make sure, this is a big point, you have to make sure that you do not expect a response. If you expect a response and then you don't get it, then you're going to say, well, that didn't work. And you're going to say, I don't like this anymore. It's too hard to be a coach because I'm not getting a response. You have to remember, because this is and take this into your account, and take your own experiences into this. Think about when you first got started into fitness or became a coach. I'm probably guessing that 90% of you, if not more, the first time you heard it were like, oh, yay, this sounds great. there's probably something that took you a while to get to. You're like, well, I got to do this first. I got to do this first. I got to do this first. It doesn't have to be about coaching, or it could be about fitness or whatever. So my favorite was always my favorite one was the gym industry. People will walk into the gym and they're like, well, I just want to check it out because I need to get in shape a little bit before I join the gym. Like I would want to smack them in the face because it was just crazy to me. But that's how people's mindset works. They have to be in the right mindset and mentality to be able to open. And once they are, then they're going to be open to talking to you. Does that all make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. I see a question, but I'm going to hold it till the end if that's okay, just so we can keep going down the funnel. So once you have flooded the information to your market and the right time, it's the right time for them, and then they're going to now you've gone down, and the next thing into the funnel is experience, the experience that person has with you. Now, simple. You're either going to have a good experience or a bad experience. It's pretty easy to figure out what that one is, but when we think about bad experiences, if you think about a bad experience, we go to a restaurant, what do? You tell everybody. They say, okay, if somebody has a good experience, they tell one person. Somebody has a bad experience, they tell everybody they know, and they put it on Yelp. That's pretty much how it works. I don't think there's a Yelp for Beachbody coaches yet, but give it time. So if that was $1 million idea, by the way, and if any one of you do that, I expect a royalty check for a Beachbody Yelp, Coach Yelp. Just so you know. I'll give my address. You can send, or just make it out to cash. So you always want to make sure you have a good experience. All right. So how do you have a good experience with somebody that is finally kind of open-minded to talk to you about fitness and all the different products? And contrary to popular belief, the thing that you need to do is when you first talk to this person is, I see a kid, is shut the heck up. That's what you got to do. And you put his earphone in just as I was about to say that too. That'd be nice timing. Myself. You have to shut up. You don't do all the talking. You don't sit there and say all the things that you can do for this person. Now, that's basically, and that's like every other advertisement that's out on TV right now, right? We're already flooded with that. What you want to do is you want to listen to this person and find out why they are talking to you right now. Why? What is the reasons? What are their triggers? And when it comes to triggers, we're talking about the things because, look, perfect example. Back when I was trainer at the gym, this was a typical thing is you tell your clients, okay, I want you to do a food journal. So tell me, every breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Tell me everything you eat in a day. Well, guaranteed, nobody's going to write down the bottle of wine that they drink at night in their food journal. It's not going to happen. Ooh, there we go. So, nobody's going to be 100% honest in a food journal when they're trying to get back onto track or they're trying to change their life, right? Because they're kind of in this denial state that they don't have to change everything they're doing to change their body. So they're going to leave out, probably the chocolate or the wine or, something like that. So we're not going to tell them specific things. I'm going to sit there and say, when you talk to this person, this is what you need to be doing is saying, okay, take me through a day of your life or the week of your life and tell them to start at the beginning. Say, okay, what time do you wake up? Get really specific. Ask these questions, very, very specific questions, because things like, if you think about, okay, what time does this person wake up? What time do they go to bed? What happens in between those two times? And if you really ask those specific questions, then you're going to find out, oh, wow, maybe this person's getting up at 4 a.m. every morning. They're going to bed super late. Their diet's horrible because they're not eating. There's so many possibilities out there to why, because someone might say, oh, I eat pretty healthy. And you're like, okay, great. How often do you eat? Sorry, I'm getting the sun here. How often do you eat? And they're like, oh, well, I'm too busy for breakfast. And so I don't have breakfast and I don't have lunch and I eat it, then I eat everything at dinner. Well, there you go. There's your problem right there. So you want to really go into specifics of it. Ask personal questions. Someone will tell you if it's too personal or not. It's that simple. Don't be afraid to ask personal questions. Basically, the whole point of this is when it comes to the experiences, you want someone to get off the phone with you, or the first couple times you talk to them, 1 or 2 times, is you want them to walk away really feeling that they have a connection with you. And that's the third word in the fitness funnel is connection. Somebody that feels they have a connection with you and they say, wow, you know what? Kim really wants to help me. I really feel like that, she listens to me and she wants something. She's just not trying to sell me stuff or sign me up as a coach. You don't want ever anybody to get off the phone with you, or the first time they walk away with an experience with you, is for them to think or feel, that you're trying to sell them. That, I mean, I think everyone here can take that into account. Like when you walk onto a car lot, right? The minute you walk onto a car lot, you feel like you're going to be sold. You're expecting it. And I guarantee you that the majority of people you talk to the first couple times think that exact same thing, because they don't know about Beachbody. They don't know what's going on. And look, I'm just as guilty as this is everybody. When we first got into Beachbody years ago, I was like, oh yeah, it's just like all those other companies that, just sign up a bunch of people and you get the downlines and the pyramid and blah, blah, blah. Like, but it is more than that. And it takes time for someone to truly understand that. The point is that you can't rush that. But if someone feels they have a connection with you, then they're going to have a lot more trust with you. They're going to listen to what you have to say. And then you're going to be really able to help that person. And the way you help them is you're going to next on down the funnel is establish programming. So programming is not, and when I say programming, I don't just mean hey, buy Core de Force. Yeah, that's a program. I think everyone should buy it. But it is not just about a program. It's programming of their life. So, and you want to write that down, programming of their life. We are not telling them you just need to do Core de Force and drink Shakeology and you'll be better. Is it possible? Absolutely. There are things that is happening in these people's lives. Think about all the stuff that's going on right now, the craziness of the world and the United States is going to hell in a handbasket. We know it right now. Political, hello. So it's only going to get worse. And we know that there's so many factors out there that we have to help people try to eliminate some of the factors or help them cope with it. So it's programming of their life. The first thing, and this is when it comes into this is where you have the connection with somebody and goes back to when you talk to them and you made notes, hopefully, and you know this person's day in and out, and you know all those factors, then you can help them take the next steps, which are changing some of those factors. So it might be based on what you've heard from them, maybe the first thing that they should do or you should help them do is not necessarily about working out. Not necessarily about or put them on Shakeology. You know what I mean? Like and there's so many different possible examples that it's hard to give you one. But think about, for instance, we'll use one. So say someone's 50 pounds overweight. The first thing that I would never have them do is start exercising in a vigorous manner. It's true. I wouldn't do it. And I use this example because at Gold's Gym, this was my favorite thing all the time is when I trained all the new employees. They were with me for 3 days before they would come out and actually get to go out in the gyms. And I would talk to them. I say, okay, everyone here that loves to work out, and it'd usually be about 100 people every month. Everyone that loves to work out, raise your hand. Well, obviously it's a bunch of fitness nuts. And so they all raise their hands. So we got 100 people. I said, okay, keep your hand up. And these are these are the fitness freaks. And you guys are all fitness freaks too. You're the ones that got up at butt crack of dawn at 3 a.m. to go work out with 20,000 people. You're insane. We love sweating though. We love being sore, right? We love that feeling. We're like, yes, I did something. We accomplished something. Same thing with these employees. So I'd say, okay, you guys are the fitness freaks, the fitness fanatics. So I have all of you that love to work out. Keep your hand up. Keep your hand up if you absolutely love to run. And there'd be like 5 people out of 100 that would keep their hand up because it takes a special type of person to love to run. Let's face it. So I would say, okay, great. So out of the 100 of you, 2-3 of you actually like to run. So you're saying, so why would we ever try to sell a membership based on how many treadmills we have? Doesn't make any sense. And that's exactly how this stuff works. It's like, do people want to replace one of their meals with a shake every single day? Nope. I don't even want to do that, right? You have to think about like the mentality that these people are in. So you have to find the things that are going to make them excited about wanting to make the change, not the fact that you have to do it. If you have kids, you know what happens when you say you have to do something. They don't want to do it. You tell me I have to do something. I'm 33 years old. I'm still going to be like, I don't want to do it. I have to want to do it. I'll pitch a big fit, just like a 5-year-old. Just watch. So you have to make people, and adults are just big kids. They really are. We know this when it comes to telling them they have to do something. So you have to make them want to do it. So that's when it comes to the programming is you're going to really help somebody by saying, okay, you don't want to do Shakeology. Fine. Why? Because you don't like shakes. Okay. What is it about it? And what are you doing right now that you feel is not working? Right? So we're really talking to these people. We're finding the program, we're reprogramming their life, and we're basically taking them down a different path. They were on this road right now, wasn't working. We're going to take them down this path right here. So we're going to switch it a little bit. It's minute changes. As you're doing this programming, you're going to, with these changes, is you want to give them goals, right? We want to give them attainable goals, realistic results, realistic goals, things that somebody can accomplish in a relatively short time. This is my own personal opinion. I think 2 weeks is a great time to start, because 2 weeks is plenty of time for someone to feel a change, but it's also not so long. I think a month is a little much sometimes when people are like, oh my God, it's taking forever, I'm not seeing anything. So 2 weeks is my personal viewpoint on, say someone wants to lose 50 pounds. I'm like, all right, you know what? Let's take it slow. We're going to try to lose 5 pounds in the next 2 weeks. 5 pounds in 2 weeks is really not that hard, especially if someone is so overweight that you make a couple changes, they're gonna lose weight really quickly, and chances are they'll actually get more than 5 pounds. And oh my God, you just surpassed the goal. So you always want to make sure the goals are attainable, realistic, and then when they get the goal, which is the next down the funnel, is called results. When they get the results, you make a huge deal out of it, and this is what I call touch points. Touch points is exactly what we're doing right now. A video call is a touch point. A text message is not a touch point. Don't even think to get it out of your head. Texting someone and saying, hey, how are you doing, is not a touch point. Face to face, the art of conversation is gone. It's horrible because of, unfortunately, technology has really stymied that. But for anybody that is pretty much 30 and older, we all remember what it was like before iPhones existed, right? Before computers existed. My first computer, I think I was like 13, 14. And before that, I had a pen pal from like Venezuela. It was awesome. And it was so cool to get a letter. And then, it was kind of, I call it like the seesaw effect. So basically, we used to get letters all the time. It was really cool. And then you start to get, okay, letters aren't cool. Then you get your first email. Oh, I got an email. And it was cool. It was like instantaneous. And you can keep track of people. And then it's kind of gone like this now. And now you get so much junk mail and spam and mail order brides from China. That's the majority of mine. It's kind of weird. And Russia. That now it's like you get an email, and now it's just we're so tied to this damn thing that it's just any part of our day. But if I get a personalized letter now or a postcard, that's kind of cool, right? So we kind of shifted back a little bit. And when it comes to touch points, and that's why I tell all the coaches, I'm like, you guys, buy some postcards, make some postcards. It only costs the thing of a stamp, and write a handwritten note to someone saying, congratulations on your first 2 weeks, right? This is a business. You should have business expenses and budget for that stuff. That's a cool touch point, and that's going to really hit home with somebody. And it's a very, very easy thing to do when it comes to that sort of thing. So once you get to that point in the results, that is at the bottom of the funnel. And if someone honestly starts to see results, then outspits value. Because now what's happened is they've seen everything. You've taken them down this path. You've taken them down this funnel to where at the bottom of it, something positive has happened and is pushed them towards where they're trying to go. And once that happens, then they say, you know what? I do see the value in this. I really think that this works. Tell me how I can get more. There you go. You just signed up a coach. You're welcome. Hope that made sense. So anyway, that's a very quick synopsis, but just to recap in case anybody missed it. So like I said, fitness funnel, this is how it works in my mind. You go down the funnel, you have your first thing is information. You take them through the information, target audience, flood your market, figure out who your market is, and then flood that market with information. Leads to the experience. You're going to talk with them for the first time. They're going to have a great experience with you. Hopefully they feel that they have a connection with you. And then once they have a connection with you, you're going to work on the programming of their life. We help them reprogram what's not working. Then they start to see the results. Then you have the value in everything that you do and everything you're talking about. Let's see. So Margaret asked me a question. Do you want me to read it out loud, or?
You can just answer it.
I don't know if I have to read it for the whole class or not. I was just curious.
He's not
Um,
shy, so you can read it if you want to.
Margaret's basically asking, how would you suggest drawing more men into the coaching world? Men who are in the fitness world that think they are, or kind of laugh when I talk to them because they see Autumn or her workouts and they think they aren't tough enough. Supplements, they think theirs is better. Doesn't make sense. Absolutely. Yeah. So, hey, look, guys are idiots. We know it. I think there's a lot of it comes down to what is out there right now. And when it comes to guys, it really will come down to what they want to do and what they want to accomplish. Hopefully, programs like Core to Force will bring in more guys. I feel it will. It has been a little while since a Beachbody program has come out with something that I think a guy, and notwithstanding Body Beast is awesome and it definitely worked and got guys into it. But since then, I don't think, Masters Hammer and Chisel does it a little bit. And I was just talking to Autumn about this yesterday on the flight, actually. We were talking about all these different things. And I think Core to Force is really going to hopefully bring in a lot more guys and tap into the guy market. So one, I hope that helps. And two, when it comes to the coaching world, I wouldn't lose too much sleep over it in the fact that there's not a lot of guys involved, honestly. If they don't see the value in it, it's the same thing of I think it was on one of the questions either here or a question I got earlier too, was, I'm a instructor at a gym, and, how do you help talk to people at the gym and convince them that, coaching is a great way to do it? You guys think bigger than that. Get out of the bubble. And that's the bubble, the fitness bubble. You're still even all this stuff is still in the fitness bubble. Get the hell out of it. Get out of the gym, and I was saying this to even when I worked at the gym, 20% of the population belong to a health club right now in the United States, 20-ish%. So that's only, I hate doing math in my head, 300 million, 30. It's still a lot of people. It's like over 200 million people, 250 million people that are not that go to a gym. So, and a lot of that is because there may not be a gym around them. So let's get out of the bubble, right? So let's not worry about trying to convince somebody who's already exercising and maybe set in their ways sorry, Grandma's getting a phone call. Sorry. I have no control over my environment right now, just so you know. I don't know if I should answer or not. You got your phone? I have no idea where I think she went outside for a second, so we'll just go to the answer machine. Okay, she answered. So anyway, get outside the bubble. Don't ever try to waste time convincing someone that you feel like you're trying to convince, right? Like if someone wants to be convinced, or if you're trying to convince somebody something, then that means their mind is already closed. There's no point in talking to that person right now. It's easier to say, you know what, let's talk later if you have any questions about this. Not just hammering. It's like, that goes into the car salesman thing. There are so many people out there, and this is why infomercials work. That's why Beachbody infomercials work so well, because it just constantly goes. That's why infomercials work really well, is because they constantly air over and over and over again. So eventually it hits that person at the right time. So that goes back to your information, where you just have to keep flooding information to as many people as possible, because then eventually it will hit at the right time, and that's when you start getting people back. So Margaret, I know, is kind of like a roundabout answer, and I guess the easiest way of the answering it is to not worry about dudes right now. If they don't want to be involved, tough shit. Sucks for them, and I'll just remain the minority in Beachbody. Pretty much is how that works. At this point, we did all those photos, Kim, and you guys were there, and it was like one dude besides me. I'm outnumbered. I like it. It's okay. So anyway, so that's the funnel. So I hope if somebody got something out of that.
Oh yeah, yeah, I think awesome.
Okay, Cynthia asked a question. What if you're talking with your potential clients about their experiences? Ask the personal questions, make the connection, get their start on the program, and they back off or decide it's not for them or they can't do it. Okay, great question. So if they say it's not for them, that means that they regressed and you lost the connection. it doesn't mean that you lost the connection personally with them. That means that actually, let me rephrase it a little bit. They lost the connection to programming. Something the programming is not working. For programming to work, somebody has to want to do it. You have to be excited about it. Perfect example is I love boxing. I love kickboxing. I love when I'm in my routine here in LA, not here in LA, I box and kickbox at least 3 times a week. And I love it. I get excited about going, and I know that I'm going to barely be able to breathe at certain points, and I'm going to get my ass handed to me. And I get excited about it because I absolutely love doing it so much. I love weightlifting. There's things you got to find. So for instance, it kind of goes into Margaret's question too, is as a dude, I would never try to tell someone, hey, you should, as a guy who might like boxing, hey, you should try plyo. Do we all need to stretch? Yes. Do guys like to stretch? No. So, do we want to, as a typical guy, you want to feel guy-like. So, say, well, okay, maybe that program didn't work for you, and this is the great thing where you can really tie into Beachbody On Demand. The library is only growing. There's so much more things you can do out there. I think that I know I only have 2 workouts on there, 8x8 and grab bag power, but I guarantee you either one of those workouts will whoop any guy's butt. Absolutely, without a doubt, because it's my workout. Those 2 workouts are based on what I do personally in my own workouts. So, really think about the workouts that they're doing, and is it the right workout? If that's if they say if it's not for them. And if they say they can't do it, it's kind of the same thing. It goes back to that 50-pound overweight person. Am I asking someone that's 50 pounds overweight to run when they shouldn't be running? Am I asking them to do a program they shouldn't be doing? Am I asking them to do something that is not the best time and place for them to start? So really think about it and figure that out. Now, if they simply say, I don't like it, I don't want to do it. Again, it may not be the right time for them. Maybe they said it was the right time and it doesn't. And say, okay, you know what? That's when you kind of back off a little bit and say, you know what? I'm here to help you. Let me know. I guarantee you that if you stick with this, you will see results. But if you're not mentally in it, then take a little break. I'm going to call you back in 2 weeks and we're going to get you back going. Step back a little bit, give them an opportunity to do it. You don't have to hard sell them. Sometimes we all need it. Sometimes we need a little break, right? So if someone needs a break, say, what, can I call you back in a month? Can we talk in a month? I don't want you to lose too much momentum. I want to give you a break. The sun's really hot in Palm Springs. Good Lord. And it's like 77 degrees in here. God.
You got a video.
I'm sweating over there. Anyway. So I hope that answered the question, Cynthia. You guys didn't know that there was going to be so much entertainment in this call today. Huh? I wasn't expecting to be in Palm Springs either.
I was hoping Grandma wouldn't pick up the phone so we could hear what message was left.
Oh, yeah, right. Seriously. Everything's blowing up around me. So anyway. All right. So those are the questions. Are there any questions about the fitness funnel? Like I said, I hope it makes sense. I hope it's helpful in some way. It's definitely how I worked over the years in the business and, in selling memberships and personal training. And I felt that it really did help. I know there were some questions about, let me find the email. Client questions.
Yeah, we try to break it down. So I think you hit on a lot of them, but yeah, we should try to organize it.
Excuse me. So yeah, so here's some of these questions are great. Network questions. How do you establish your brand as a trainer in a gym with so much competition? It was easier in a sense. It was easier in a gym because it was a lot of face-to-face. It was all face-to-face, and you guys don't necessarily always have that. You're using your social media, which isn't a bad thing, but face-to-face was always easy for me. I'll take face-to-face conversations any day over anything else. So it was easier in that standpoint. It goes back to figuring out who your audience is, figuring out who your market is, who you want to target. I think like a great example, for instance, is Jericho. Jericho, if you guys heard her, for those of you who were Summit, you heard her when we were speaking up on stage. She was talking about being a mom and being the mom who you guys are going to kill me for saying this, but like, I don't want to say the mom bod, but like, you know, we were designing and filming the program. She was breastfeeding and she wasn't getting any sleep. So her cortisol levels were crazy and through the roof. So going from not having a kid and being able to just get shredded out super quick for anything to all of a sudden the cortisol levels are higher and she's not losing weight. But yet her cardio conditioning was insane, like, because she was kicking my ass like nonstop. And she's had so much physical demands of her body. So, you know, her big message is to moms like that out there saying, hey, look, you don't have to be super tiny. You don't have to lose a bunch of weight. You can still be really fit physically, and it won't always show physically, if that makes a little bit of sense. It doesn't mean you're going to not lose any weight, but it doesn't mean you have to be, you know, little tiny shape. So that's her audience. And that's who, you know, Jericho's going to speak to with that. And that's what we talked about. I said, look, that statement that she made alone will have a bigger impact on anything I could ever say to mothers, because my relatability to moms is zero, except for the fact I have a mom. Like, that's pretty much about the only relatability I have. So her relatability to that is going to be awesome. So she knows exactly who her target audience is, the market that she speaks to is, and that's exactly what you guys have to do, is figure out who that is. You know, if you were that person that has lost 100 pounds, then dude, there's your market. I'm going after if I was that person, I would be going after people that need to lose 50 pounds or more, because you know exactly what it's like from start to finish, or start to now, because you never actually finish. You're always progressing. So, I hope that makes sense. You have to figure out, you know, take your own personal instances into account. Me, for instance, I don't necessarily have an inspiring story. I've always kind of been fit, not into fitness though. So for me, I'm about motivation, because I went from bartending, smoking 2 packs of cigarettes a day in college, not working out, or I would work out occasionally, but I always like have a cigarette on the way to the gym and then like a cigarette on the way back from the gym, which is hilarious. I wouldn't do any cardio. I would just lift. And it wasn't until I got into the motivational aspect, and this is what really drew me into working in gyms, was I realized, I was like, wow, no one is coming here to get worse. Like, how positive an environment this is to work. And so it was the motivation that drew me into it. And then when I got into Les Mills group exercise, it was even to the next level of motivation. So for me, my draw is or my purpose, I feel, in everything I do with Beachbody and with you guys, is to motivate and to make people feel like this could be fun, and you can have a good time, still get your ass kicked, but still have a good time while you do it. So that's how I figured out. So my target audience is anybody that feels they need motivation to do something. So that's how I figured out exactly who I'm going to talk to. So again, long-winded answer, but I hope that made sense. So you have to figure out your own, you know, who you're really going after. When someone, that's the other question. When someone had an objection towards the money involved in personal training, what did you tell them? I said, look, okay, then this isn't the right time, or you're not feeling the value in it. I mean, it's that simple. People have an objection to money if they don't feel there's value in it. We all know this. We all will pay more for something if we want the value. And I think Whole Foods, I don't know if you guys all have Whole Foods by you, or specialty grocery stores. That's what Whole Foods is. It's called Whole Paycheck, because you go there and you can buy the same damn things that you can at Ralph's, but yet it costs like double. But yet that parking lot is always full, and it's the exact same people that you would see at Ralph's. It's just because the value's there. So if someone wants to object to it, it's because they don't see the value in it. I have sold personal training packages that were thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, and to people that probably couldn't afford it, but they were so ready at that time that they didn't care. And they're like, put on my credit card, I got it. And then there were other people who have more money than freaking God, and they were like, I don't even want to buy a session. I'm like, well, screw you, dude. You're not ready for it. It was that simple. Don't waste your time. I think it kind of goes back to that. Just, you guys, don't waste your time. You got so many other people out there that need your help. Just get out there and talk to more people. That's really what you got to do. Same thing, I think, in the question of showing value in supplements. That is a challenge. It really is, because, you know, the supplement market, you walk into GNC and everything is cheaper. than, feels like than Beachbody products sometimes, especially bag of shake. I didn't even know how much Shakeology cost until recently. And my first reaction was, holy shit. It's like that's expensive. But I know the value in it. I know what it is. And I know it's more than just protein powder. Sorry, I cuss a lot. I know it's more than protein powder. And so some people, but if they say that's too expensive, it's because they are just comparing it to protein powder. So, find the things, and you guys don't need to have all the answers. Beachbody has all the answers. Get the articles, get the links, get the information that you can send to somebody and show them what it is. And then send them the packets, right? There's the individual packets for a reason. So send them the packets and say, okay, compare it. Tell them to compare labels to it and say, prove to me that this Costco bag of protein powder is better than this bag of Shakeology, besides price. Like, prove to me that's possible. There's a reason why people buy Mercedes versus a different, Toyota. It doesn't mean that they can't afford it all the time. Some people can't, but most of them just because, like, I have a Mercedes and I'm an idiot, but it's just because I wanted it. I saw the value in it. But would I rather have a Toyota car payment? Yeah, I really, really would. So it's where the value is in somebody's head. You just have to make it click and show them. So sometimes it's exhausting. Sometimes it will take more than one time or instance. I promise you, if you just stick with it, they'll eventually see it. Question was, what was the best and worst / unsuccessful ways you grew your clientele? Worst way was hard sales. Saying to somebody like, hey, you're interested in personal training? Okay, cool. You should go ahead and buy a 10-pack for $1,500. That was pretty much a big no all the time. I would say, okay, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna go ahead and train you for free this one session. And then I'll tell you what, just start with me for like a half hour a week. And I put the time in, I put the effort in. Half hour a week, just to check in on a Friday, say, hey, how'd your week go? Or I check in with them on Monday and say, okay, this is what I want you to do this week. And then I'm going to check in with you next week. And then they would either start seeing some results and say, okay, he actually knows what he's talking about. Or they would say, you know what, I feel like I need a little bit more guidance. So I'm like, okay, cool. So let's do an hour. Let's do 2 half hours, 1 half hour, 2 days a week. So it just really worked. That's how I grew my clientele, because I was never trying to push. Sometimes it's called the velvet glove approach. It doesn't work for everybody. You just have to, but it does take time and effort to do it. But you guys are all in a great place because you have nothing but time to do this stuff. So let's see. All coaches host at least 2 monthly online challenge groups. This tends to create satiation. Good word. Meaning you put the definition there for me. Thank you. Our friends became so accustomed to seeing us post about the next group that they've lost interest. Other than adding new friends daily, how do we keep the interest alive? I was an English major for half a semester, so luckily I knew what that word was. And my dad's an English teacher, so he would kill me if I didn't know what that word is. So, look, challenge groups are a challenge. They really are. Like, I've gone through the same thing, we've done challenge groups, and, I think even bodyboard is a little bit like the same thing. We have the missions in bodyboard. And it's like, okay, how do we get people to participate? And there's going to be a Quarter Force big Beachbody challenge group, I'm sure, once we launch the program as well. I think at the beginning it was super cool and had these challenge groups. And now I think it's kind of gotten a little, it's the pool is deep and wide and everyone's doing it for sure. So it really comes down to, okay, so again, what's the target here? Who are we going after? Is that really the best thing that you should do is a challenge group? And we have the Joel Freeman fitness group. It's not a challenge group. It's just a support page for everyone to go on and post if they want to check in or whatever that may be. But then it's got like 1,200 members. And I think I have like 10 people that actively participate on it. Some people just want to see what's happening, and they really like seeing the challenge group because they want to see that they're surrounded by everyone else doing the same thing. Sometimes that's enough for them, just to see that they don't have to participate, but yet they are participating by doing the same thing that a bunch of other people are doing. So never discount that by how much you can be helping somebody that is silent and they're just watching. So always keep that in mind. Adding new friends daily, that isn't obviously going to work unless, again, if you're getting out there and you're really talking to a bunch of people, then there you go. You got a bunch of new people being ready to start new challenges as well. So it never hurts to ask these people too, like, hey, what kind of challenge you guys want to do? Do we want to do a 2-week challenge of drink a glass of wine every night? Just kidding, don't do that one. But hey, everyone perks up. I heard wine, right? So like, think about the things that get people to perk up, not just about like, did you drink your Shakeology today? Did you drink your Recover today? You know what? And yeah, Hannah's iPhone said it best. Have a lot of people that silently participate and then become coaches. The great thing about Facebook and Instagram, all these social media platforms, is it has given people opportunity to feel as part of something that never would have been a part of a group before, because they were either too shy or too scared or not even in a geographic area that would allow them to be part of a group. So never discount that. And something that it kind of popped in my head a few months ago, I was like, oh, no, that kind of makes sense. So yeah, just expand out, broaden your horizons, and just keep asking people, how can I help you? How can I help you? What do you need from me besides a bottle of wine? There you go. I've got my brain on a bottle. I brought a bottle of wine down here because I knew I was going to need one. So
I was wondering, does Granny drink wine?
It's good for the heart, man.
Was that Malbec? Did I say it
Malbec.
right?
Love Malbecs, man. So it's good for the heart. Ask any cardiologist. There you go. Okay, so aside from these other, let's do this quick. Okay, what do you find is the best way to get clients, challengers to stay engaged even after the initial round? I think I just kind of answered that maybe a little bit. If not, you can tell me if I didn't. But I think, again, just really getting people and find the way they want to be. People are going to be engaged if they find something they want to be engaged in. Next question is kind of the same thing. Yeah. So, okay. Personal mindset questions. Notice I'm saving Core de Force for the end. Making y'all wait. Otherwise you just get off. After hitting a big goal in the business, how do you get unstuck and keep gaining momentum? I'm assuming this is kind of like a coaching question, and I don't have big milestones in, obviously, because I'm not a coach. But I can give you a perfect example is, so Core de Force, we, from start to launch, start to announcement was 18 months. It was a long freaking time to keep a secret, by the way. It was a really long time, especially when we see you guys, like all these events and the crews, and everybody's like, what are you guys doing? We're like, nothing. It was really hard. So we hit some big goals along the way, though. When we went into program conceptualization, then we went into program design, then we went into writing the program, and then we went to test groups, and we did 3 months of test groups where Jericho and I taught all the test groups ourselves at the Beachbody office. Then we went into filming, where we came right off the cruise, and we filmed like 14 workouts in 10 days or something like that. Yeah, it hurt in a good way. And, then we filmed the sizzle reel that you guys saw and hopefully have all seen. So we've been hitting milestones this whole time and not getting to tell anybody, and celebrating in our own little way. And so then obviously we came off the cruise, and, so this is a big goal for us, was the announcement of Core de Force. That was, and, we were all back, and Jericho and I were like backstage, like, trying not to throw up because we were so nervous on what it was like, is anybody going to be excited about this? We don't know. So I think that, and now we're like, okay, it's out. Everyone knows about it. There's nothing else we can do about that. So what's the next step? All right, now we got sneak peeks coming out, and we're, coach test groups and blah, blah, blah. So I think there's always something, even after you've hit a big goal, that you can always see to the next step. It doesn't have to be really far away, right? So, it's like if you hit a diamond, I don't know if I'm making it up or something, but if you hit a diamond, yeah, I did good. There we go. If you hit a diamond, then like, what's the next step? Is it more Success Club points? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's like, whatever I promise you, by the way, I've already got this scheduled. I'm going to go learn everything about coaching next month after we finish a couple more workouts that we have to film. So, but I promise you I'm going to learn all about this, and I'll come back on and I will school you guys on how to be a coach. Okay. So, but look, so I guess my easiest answer to that in the long-winded way again is, I don't ever feel stuck. I just say, what's next? I celebrate and I go, cool. All right, what's next? And, I revel in it for a time being because, what's not accomplishing a goal without a little revel, ball back. But then you go on to the next thing. What's the next step? And then say, okay, and keep going. And, I think that's why those coaches that are, some of those coaches that walked across the stage that make a lot more money than I do. That's how they got there. They just kept saying, okay, what's next? What's next? What's next? And they'd never stop. So that's my advice to you, just keep going for sure. And then the last one, how do you get people involved in the groups? So many people say, yes, they want in, especially in the free groups, then participation is awful. Again, free groups, there's nothing wrong with that. And that's where it comes back to, I think goes right back up to the top of the information on the funnel, is throwing that out there. And free groups, I think, can easily go into that category when it comes to the information. Give them an opportunity to try it. If they're not participating, and then you reach out to them, be like, hey man, what's up? What's going on with this? Why aren't you wanting to do this? What's missed? If I think a great example of this, sometimes something being free isn't necessarily the best. So when it comes to free participation groups, you can kind of go both ways on that one, but sometimes if there's no value in it whatsoever for somebody, if there's nothing to lose for somebody, then it's not a big deal. Like, I'll join free stuff all the time if there's nothing to lose, right? So like, what's in it for me? It's kind of like a nice, back when I was marketing for Golds, my old mentor taught me there's like the marketing 101, 3 basic things. And I think it's worth writing down. There's 3 basic things when it comes to marketing, and people ask themselves when they see something. They say, what's in it for me? It's called WIFM. What's in it for me? Why should I act now? And then it's called take away the fear. Like, if I don't act now, what's going to happen? So why should I act now? What's in it for me? And you take away the fear, taking away the fear of like, well, I'm going to, car dealership. I'm going to get schooled. I'm going to get sold. I'm not going to get, I'm not going to get a good deal. But those are the 3 things. Why act now? What's in it for me? And take away the fear. So it's kind of the same thing. It's got to be some value in it. What's in it for me? If it's free, there's not really any value in it. It doesn't mean you can't try it once and see what happens, for sure. Let's see. Got to dig in for the long haul. Sorry, you were absolutely correct on that one, for sure. It's an investment, guys. So I don't think everything I heard at Summit when it came to all these big time coaches, I don't think I heard anybody say 6 months. I think the minimum I heard was maybe a year. If not, but I think some of them, I heard a lot of places like 3 years, 4 years. I mean, look, you're trying to build something. You're not getting hired into a job that already exists. There are coaches out there who think they can come into this and they don't make, the money they thought or expected. Well, look, I expect to make a certain amount of money for a job that I get hired for, because that was what was discussed at the beginning. If I decide to go into business for myself, I can't expect to go in there making the exact same amount of money, because I have to build something. There's nothing exists. So you have to build it first. So it is a long haul for sure. 18 months, that's a long freaking haul, man. I didn't think I was going to make it. It was a long time. Okay. So you want to know about quarter force? I think this is kind of like the really.
Yeah. Do you want to jump around?
Did everybody already jump off already? Did we lose everybody?
I think we gained people. They were like, oh, he's talking about this fitness funnel. Let me on.
All right. Okay. Quarter force. There were some questions here, and 5 words. Promote this program. No, okay. Feels so good to talk about quarter force. It's the first call I get to do to actually talk about it a little bit. So, all right. So quarter force, it's a mixed martial arts style workout. We use 3-minute rounds for interval training, and it is not on the beat. It is not choreographed to music. It is not like combat, because combat is choreographed to music, and so is turbo. We went authentic in our style and in our training. And those are two aspects of core de force and types of training that Jericho and I absolutely love. And that's why we designed it this way. We didn't want it to be on the beat. We want everyone to be able to work at their own pace, work at their own speed, work at, what works. Just kind of goes back to what we just talked about. What works for everybody is different for everybody else. So we wanted to make sure that everyone could go at their own speed and their own pace. The promoting this program that people have no interest in boxing. I have no interest in yoga. It's kind of hard to tell me to go do yoga if I don't want to do yoga. Everyone can try, you can get people to try, you can convince somebody to try anything. Come on. It's not that hard to just say, look, just try it. And if you hate it, there you go. If people don't like boxing, I don't know a lot of people that don't like boxing. Maybe, especially if you're just boxing in the privacy of your own home. The biggest focus of this, and this is why it's called core de force, is what it does to your core, what it does to your body. If you take away your arms and your legs, you have your core, right? So everything emanates from the core. We know this, and what I see all the time. I was at the gym this morning working out, and I see people doing abs, which means they were just doing some crunches and a couple of oblique twists, and they called it a day. That is not what we do. We're not just doing crunches and movements like that. When it comes to boxing and kickboxing, that is so much core centric rotation in these combinations. If you do a jab cross, if you guys were at the super workout, you saw it. Jab cross, front elbow, rear knee. Your body just went like this. And that is basically turning your core like this. That is essentially doing crunches, oblique twists. You are conditioning your core as you're moving. And that is the whole point of this program, is to condition your core while you're standing up. You don't have to lay down very often. We do some exercises on the ground, but not a lot of them, because we're going core centric. That's the idea behind this. So if someone says, I don't like boxing, great. Do you want to shape your core? Try it and give them the opportunity to do it, for sure. For injuries, such as knee injuries, things like that, it is a higher intensity program. There are some higher impact movements, but there's a modifier for every single workout, and we have modifications for every single move when it's necessary. So if there's a certain spike where it requires a modification, or in terms of like a switch kick, that's right, you guys learn how to do real switch kicks. It's awesome. There are modifications for that with injuries, and we took a lot of time working with some of our the people that train us in the gyms. We had a Muay Thai expert. This guy annihilates me every time I go into the gym. He's been doing Muay Thai forever. We consulted with these guys. We made sure that what we wanted to do was authentic, and then we made sure that it was safe, and then we took out anything that we knew that was going to be a problem in terms of rotation, torquing your knees, or things like that. I've had a knee surgery in my life, and my knees never hurt when I did this class. Absolutely. And I've got some, some hot knees issues from all my high impact stuff over the years. And look, I also have 2 herniated discs in my back from years ago doing CrossFit. So, and I can do all this stuff. So it's all about core strength. That's what it comes back to every single time. So I'm going to say core a lot, just so you know. What would you tell someone that has been lifting and is all about muscle mass about this program? So if you guys, I don't know, maybe not everybody heard our little spiel at Summit when we came out and talked about this. So when we first started developing the program, I was 205 pounds of muscle. I was all muscle in this one. I had been lifting. I stopped. I had gone from doing, I had been teaching Les Mills classes and had been teaching those for like 7-8 years, and was just kind of ready for a change. So I stopped teaching. I was kind of over it, and decided to go back into the old school weightlifting regimen, like Arnold Schwarzenegger days. So I went from 180 pounds to 205 in a year, and was like lifting nonstop. And my cardio was this much, pretty much. I had zero cardio at this point. What I found it did for me was it put me into the middle, where I have kept my muscle mass. I lost some, obviously it's going to happen, but I'm still bigger. I average 190 pounds now. I still have the muscle mass that I like, and yet my cardio conditioning is awesome. like is nonstop. I can keep going. And that was always the joke, is like, we first started doing some test runs of some of our workouts, and Jericho was like, 4 months post-op from a C-section. She was kicking my ass, and I couldn't even do like a high knee run because my cardio conditioning was was non-existent at that point. So, look, if someone is all about lifting and they don't want to do anything else, then say, okay, bye. And you go on to the next person. Don't waste your time with that person. But if someone wants to give it a shot, we do some great strength stuff in there. We have a full body weight workout. We have a full plyometric workout in there that breaks up some of the MMA workouts on the workout calendar. You guys will see all that coming up. And it was amazing. Like what it did, I actually gained, my legs got more defined than they ever have been in my life. And I wasn't expecting that actually from all the plyo stuff that we did. And I was like, holy crap, holy quads. Nice. So it was pretty cool. It did more for me physically than I was even expecting. So I was really excited about that for sure. There's a couple questions. Let's see. Melissa asked, is this good for mamas that can't do crunches due to lack of core strength after babies to get core strength? Yes, absolutely. Because do we do any crunches? There are almost no crunches in this program because crunches suck. Like they're not fun. Like everybody's like cranking on their head and doing stuff like this, and it's horrible. Like I said, you can develop so much core strength doing standing up exercises. And that's what core to porch is all about, is we're doing these things and you're punching, you're kicking, and all that movement and changing your body weight and the way you learn how to do it, you will find that you will develop a lot of core strength. We do have a core workout, core specific workout where, you're flipping over. We brought in some awesome exercises from the world of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu where you are on the ground, minimal crunches, a few sit-ups here and there, but it's not, none of it is just a regular and crunch and sit up. Like we tweaked it to where it's all something that we've done in the MMA world. And again, 2 herniated discs here. I mean, you think I need a strong core so I don't have surgery? Absolutely. Look, Jericho came out of this 3 months after a C-section and did this program to get her core strength back as well. And once I found out what actually they do in a C-section, oh my God. So nothing to complain about. So yeah, it works. It's like, no kids, the shit works, guys. I promise you, it really, really works. And is this going to be intense enough for someone used to an advanced workout? Yeah, I'd say so. I can't wait for whoever asked that question to actually do this, and you tell me. So what's really great about this program is that the fitter you get and the more you get the combinations, the harder it's going to get. So the first time you do the first workout, the first workout's 20 minutes long, and you're going to get a good sweat on and you're going to be feeling it. And then you go through the whole workout calendar, and then we actually on the calendar make you go back and do that first workout again towards the end of the 30 days. And you're going to be like, oh man, why am I doing that? That's like the beginner workout. It's not the beginner workout. It's just a shorter workout. You will die when you go back and do that first workout again, because you will have gotten so much more competent in your skills of the moves of, jabs, cross, hooks, elbows, all these different combinations. And when you go back to the original one, you just fly through it and you're like gasping for air. So yeah, it's definitely intense in the good way. I promise you, it's in a good way. So I would never have been a part of something and designed something that wasn't fun to do or didn't really work to, it was just like some other workout. And look, we've gotten a few little, comments and we knew it was coming because of our affiliation or over the years with Les Mills and stuff. People saying, oh, it's, it's just a body combat or Les Mills combat. And look, we would never do that. That's only for 60 seconds of a sizzle you guys see. A jab is always going to jab, a cross is always going to be a cross. And, that's pretty much where the similarities stop. And I know that's, you just have to take my word for it right now. And then in the next few months, you guys will get to see it and do it for yourself. But I promise you, it is freaking awesome. Not just because we designed it, Jericho and I wrote it. It's because it's really freaking awesome. I'm excited. So I think that was all the questions. I think.
Yeah. Was there anything we should have asked? Dag, we should have, asked about core. Is there something that we should, anything like that?
No, we're still, we're still we're still learning as well, like in terms of questions and, what should we be saying about it specifically to get people excited. I think, we have a lot of meetings coming up in the next few months with all the teams at Beachbody, the social media teams, the marketing teams, all this stuff and this is where they excel at. So if there's ever more questions, you guys go on, the website's up, quarterforce.com, sign up. It's an email collector, put your email into it. So you'll get more information about it. Follow me on my pages, Joel Freeman Fitness, on Instagram and Snapchat, Joel Freeman Fit. We all guys are doing Snapchat more. Joel Freeman Fitness at Facebook, and we're getting Jericho McMatthews on her channels, and we're going to be throwing stuff at you guys. I mean, we're going to be throwing, but I tell you what, the test group results were so cool. That was really, you guys saw some of that from the Sizzle, and Roger, for instance, his abs in 30 days were like, where did those come from? It was pretty crazy, and I think our biggest success was we did have one guy go through, and we'll post about it soon, I'm sure. We had one guy that we took him through 3 rounds, so 90 days. We took him through 3 rounds nonstop, and by the end of it, he was close to 60 pounds. So he started out as a really big boy, and then we even, after the test group was over, he kept going. We gave him the wire drives, and he kept going with it. And I think after like 150 days, he was close to 100 pounds. That's insane. It really is. It really is insane with this. Hannah's iPhone, yes, abs in 30 days. And look, every body is different. You guys will see a lot of the test group stuff that's coming out more and more, before and afters. And we're not saying everybody's going to get a 6-pack. That's not the point of this. And I don't want everyone to think you're going to get a 6-pack, but it will shape your core in a way you've never experienced before. It's not the fact that it's just about the abs. It's going to take the places we love those handles, right? It's going to start taking parts of your body and shaping it in ways that you have never experienced before. And think about it, because you're going to be doing something your body's never done before. So it's going to react differently, which is going to be awesome. Container system. I don't think the containers are going to be in the base kit. They are redoing the nutrition system. I don't want to get into it too much because I still haven't seen everything yet. They were finishing up, but the nutrition system is pretty cool. We helped them develop that. And they took our favorite meals and made them even healthier. So there's like a chicken barbecue pizza in there. That was mine. And there's some really cool stuff in there. So especially because of the intensity, you're going to see on the calendar where the nutritionist did a really cool job of where you start out at a certain caloric level, and then you actually will see yourself going up in calories a little bit because the intensity is going to increase. So you'll get, I know that is also based on the colors of the containers, I think. Don't quote me on that. But I do know the containers are included in the deluxe kit that will be coming out. And the deluxe kit also comes, we did some really cool ladder workouts as well, but like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu ladder workouts. Like, you want to see some cool stuff, you'll love it. So stay tuned with that. I don't want to tell you everything. And Kim, yes, backpack will be gone. Yeah, so lots of stuff, guys. Lots of stuff. Lots of good stuff.
Yeah. I know we're all super excited. Go ahead, Mom.
I was just going to say Joel's face is frozen now. He's smiling at me. Just frozen. Hey, Joel. There you go. Now you're unfrozen. Kaylee fixed it.
Moving, but I don't know. My phone might blow up. It's been tethered to this computer for a while now. So anyway, I hope I answered everything and somebody got something out of something I said. Something.
Yeah.
Nice.
That was awesome. Were you, you said English, but did you go into marketing? Because you got some marketing.
No. So my world of college, as I said, was I bartended at night and managed nightclubs, and then during the day I would frame houses or go play pool in tournaments, and occasionally go to class if I got bored. So yeah, that was my college career pretty much. No, what for me in the world of fitness marketing was the fact that a lot of times, and this was just, it worked out for me, was that I knew everything about the fitness business, to where then working for Gold's LA franchise, they brought me in to be the marketing director because I had already been with the company for about 4 years at that point as a Rubex director. So I knew how the company worked and how fitness business worked. So it was actually easier for me to go learn, some marketing techniques and working with our marketing company that we had to tie it in together. And sometimes it's more challenging to come out with a degree or come out and you say, okay, I know, and so actually since then, like they hired a marketing person that had all this marketing experience, but had zero fitness experience. And so they've had a lot of problems trying to get that, see how it works. So sometimes it's easier opposite, and it worked out for me. So it was actually very simple for me to, did I lose you guys?
You're still there. We heard it all, but you were gone.
Okay, cool. Anyway, so it's just easier for me to go and learn, that side of it, and I already knew the fitness side of it. So sometimes it works out that way.
That's
So
pretty cool.
yeah, so it worked out.
Well, we can't thank you enough for getting on and talking to us.
Absolutely, that was fun. I like this stuff. This stuff's fun for me. If you can't tell, I get excited talking about this. Not just the program, but like the business side of it. This is fun. I enjoy this. So I'm always open for questions and stuff. So yeah.
Well, we're super pumped about Core de Force.
Yes, we can talk about it.
Yes, I'm so excited. But I guess we've taken up enough of your time and Grandma's internet connection.
No, it's mine. Trust me. She doesn't have internet connection. It's my internet connection.
I wondered that's kind of why I dropped that hint. When you said you had hooked your phone up, I was like, oh, he's not on Grandma's internet. He's on his own.
Grandma doesn't have Wi-Fi. Sorry. So.
Well, even more thank you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So you're going to go enjoy your wine.
I'm going to sit with Grandma and have a wine.
All right, go tell Grandma hi.
I will. I'll do that. So thank you guys. And like I said, shameless plugs. I have my workouts on Beachbody On Demand. Check those out if you haven't. I still do them. I love those workouts. Like I said, it's part of my own workout regimen. And then Joel Freeman Fitness on Instagram and Facebook, and Joel Freeman Fit at Snapchat.
Cool.